Hey true believers, this is Dr. T and welcome to my comic book channel. Today I'm going to show you 8 books in my PC, what I originally paid for them, and what they are worth now. Stay tuned. First, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're really enjoying today's content, press that notification bell. Every book in this video was bought for my PC. They were not meant to be strictly an investment or to flip. And these 8 books are definitely examples of buy what you love. So first, let's take a look at book number 1. And all of these books were in my top 50 comic book video, but I didn't do a price breakdown on that video like I'm doing right now. So the first book is Fantastic Four, number 13, the first appearance of the Watcher, and then a secondary character, the Red Ghost. This is story by Stan Lee, artwork by Jack Kirby, and also Steve Ditko. And this book I bought in 2016, raw, and I bought it for $125 after grading fees, and this was in a value tier, so that was adding another $25 plus the 10% discount that I had, right, for being a CGC member, and then including shipping, so tack on another $25. So after those fees, $150. The current fair market value for this book, according to cover price, is $743, which is an increase, according to the FMV, of 395%. The most recent sales for this book, in a 2.5, were $710 on April 10th. For a 3.5, $665 on April 15th, and $950 on April 7th. The second book, Amazing Spider-Man number 41. This is a first appearance of Rhino, Stan Lee's story, John Romita cover art. And I bought this book in 2015. I bought it for $160. You add the grading fees, $185. The FMV for this book, and all the FMV and all the prices for recent sales are all from cover price. The FMV is $967, which is a 422% increase from when I purchased this book. And a recent sale in an 8.5 went for $1,425 on May 16th, and in a 7.5, $967 on March 5th. A nice return. So the third book is Hulk 340 from 1988 with this classic Wolverine and Hulk cover. Notice the signature by Stan Lee. And this was a gift given to my dad in 2011. And it wasn't given by me. It was somebody else. And so we obviously didn't have to pay for it. Only the signature and grading fees, which was $114 at the time. The Stan Lee signature cost $50, and all of this was done at the 2012 San Diego Comic-Con. And I even have the original invoice as a matter of personal history for this book and the total cost. We submitted this as well as Captain America 109 to be signed by Stan. And looking back on it, I probably wouldn't have had Stan sign this book. I would have waited and done a Todd McFarlane signature, but it's still nice to have his signature on this, and we did it in person. Notice from the picture right here, that was picture taken on the day we had them signed. Got to do it with Stan in person. And so the information about this book, the current FMV in a 9.6 is $635, which is an increase of 457%. And the last sales of this book were $600 on May 18th, $540 on May 15th, and $860 on April 29th. And we might be able to even tack on another $200 or so for the Stanley signature to that price. The fourth book is Thor 337 from 1983, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And this book was purchased graded already for $180. The current FMV in a 9.8 is $1,102, which is a 512% increase from what I originally purchased it for. And current sales, May 9th, $1,125, April 27th, $990, April 18th, $1,150, and March 27th, $1,250. And like I said at the beginning, none of these books were purchased as a result of speculation. They were books that I wanted, characters that I enjoyed reading as a kid, books that I wanted to have in the PC that I could display. And it's been really fun to see the values just skyrocket when I was just happy to have the book in the first place, regardless of what it was going to do as a quote-unquote investment. The fifth book is Wolverine #1 from 1988, the Chris Claremont story, and the John Buscema art, and the John Byrne pinup on the back, nice with the blue tape covering the top of Wolverine's head there. And this book, so first, I bought a raw copy, not of this one, but a raw Wolverine #1 in 2011 in Santa Monica, California for $40 at an LCS. I submitted that book. I even have, and at the San Diego Comic-Con of 2012, that was the first time I'd ever submitted anything to CGC. And here is that original paperwork with Wolverine #1 being submitted that I had purchased. I believe I put the FMV for that at the time as $45. And so I had that book submitted. It came back at a 9.6, and I held that book for a few years. Then I decided to sell that one. I believe it sold for like $50 or something, and I must have sold it in, 2015 or 2016. Sold it for $50, took that money, purchased this copy for $96. The current FMV for this book in a 9.8 is $631. That is a 557% increase. And the recent sales for this book are May 23rd, $639, May 21st, $627, May 15th, $625, May 13th, $625, May 9th, $865, and May 6th, $626. And as a big Wolverine fan, I cannot believe that I was able to get this book for that price at the time, knowing what the prices are now. It would have been probably out of reach for me, at least in a 9.8. So to have this book is a great thing, to have in the PC. The sixth book is Fantastic Four, number 49 in a 5.0. And of course, the first full appearance of Galactus, second appearance of Silver Surfer, the Lee Kirby duo for this book. And I purchased this book raw at the Salt Lake Comic-Con in 2014. I bought it from Torpedo Comics, actually. And the price for this book was $150. And then I submitted it for grading, held it for a couple years, submitted it for grading. And after grading fees, again, this was value tier because I had so many that I was submitting, so I got that tier. So the after grading fees, $175. The current FMV for this book is $1,861. That is an increase of 963%. That is crazy considering what I bought it for. And notice this book might even be able to fetch a higher premium because it has white pages. And I challenge you to go on eBay or any other auction site and find this book with white pages. I don't know if I've ever actually seen one. So the fact that it has this page quality is a huge bonus. And I didn't know what the page quality was when I got it. Torpedo grades their books very well. It was Steve Houston that I'm sure was the one that graded this book and said what it was, and he even put it at a 4.5, and then it came back at a 5.0 because it does have a subscription crease down the middle. And so recent sales for this book, on May 20th, it sold for $1,696. May 17th, $2,000, May 14th, $2,025, and then a couple sales in April 30th, $1,775, and another sale on April 30th, $1,525, and then another $2,000 sale on April 28th, and close to that on April 2nd, $1,950. This is a huge book for my PC, something that I really can't even believe that I have, based off of the type of books that I personally am able to buy. The seventh book is X-Men 129 in a 9.4 with white pages from 1980, and of course the Chris Claremont story, John Byrne and Terry Austin cover and art. First appearance of Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, and Sebastian Shaw. I believe I bought this in, I want to say 2014, maybe it was 2015, graded for $90. The current FMV for this book in a 9.4 is $1,037. That is a 1,052% increase. The last sales on May 10th, $1,250, and on May 8th, $911. I can't even believe those prices for this book, considering that for what I got it for, not that long ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And so to have this is a major book, because this is the earliest comic that my dad bought off the rack, most likely at a 7-Eleven, because this is a direct edition, and I do have from my dad's original collection when he bought it off the rack, likely at a 7-Eleven, probably a 5.5 grade, which was a newsstand copy. And I can't believe this book is going for these prices. It's unbelievable. But it is, and it's fun to see the growth of these books in a relatively short amount of time. Now, let's look at the last book. Here is Fantastic Four, number 48, the first appearance of the Silver Surfer, with, of course, a Galactus cameo on the last page. Again, the Lee Kirby tag team, and in 4.0 with off-white to white pages. I purchased this also raw at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2015 from a seller from Bakersfield, California, who was at the Salt Lake Comic-Con. And I bought this for $125. And then after grading fees, $150. And I remember buying this book raw, going over to the Torpedo Comics booth to look at some more books that they had, to make some purchases. And when I had this book in hand, they one of their people couldn't believe it. And he said, I would have gone over there and bought this book. So $125 is what they bought this for. This book is by far the highest percent increase of any books that I have. The current FMV is $2,117. That is a 1,311% increase, which is insane. And some recent sales for this book in a 3.5 on May 24th, $3,000. In a 4.5 on May 22nd, $3,249. And then in a 4.0 on March 15th, $2,300. So this book has gone through the roof and is likely to just keep going up. So this has just been a blast to show you these 8 books and what they've increased. And so if there's anything that I like to take away from thinking about these books, is that definitely we should buy what we love. Yes, investing, speculation is fun, but really at the heart of it, loving these comic books, loving the stories, loving the artwork, and to be able to take them and then just enjoy seeing the value go up when these are essentially books that we want to keep. We want to have them on display. We want to enjoy them with ourselves, with our children, whatever, with our friends, with the IG community, the YouTube community. So true believers, thank you so much for tuning in today, and remember, comics for life.